morning. Now we have a panel discussion on creating a better tomorrow, the strategy about social entrepreneurship. So we have eminent personalities here, and I'd like them to tell very quickly what the kind of work you do and how it impacts society. Maybe in a couple of sentences, it'll be easy for them to understand what you do. Yeah, please, you can start, Doctor.
Hello, good morning all. Ellarkum Kali Vanakkam. Thank you so much, Satish, for inviting me here. I am Dr. B.R. Lakshmi. I'm not a clinician. I'm a doctorate in biochemistry and genetics from IIT Madras. So I'm sitting here mainly because the one I believe, படிச்ச படிப்பு சமுதாயத்துக்கு போய் சேரணும். Science should reach community. Today there's technology, lots of science, galloping science. But is it really reaching the community? So that was something, and I'm a people person, love to see things happen. So after being, and you know, IIT Madras na, odane it is you finish, you go abroad. But life had lots of challenges earlier. And so I decided to be in India, and then was of course traveling a lot, working in wonderful companies as R&D head and things like that. But once I decided something has to be done, there is so much of gaps and there is science. That is when I started to work on genetic disorders. And mainly what shook me was a mother. Genetic disorders na ungalku theriyum. Family generation wise marabunu sambandhapatta noi. So adla I have been working for the last 14 years. And it's a day when a mother came with 4 kids, all the 4 affected. That was a day of my visa to the US, and the people at home were very unhappy. IIT la padichittu inge ukkandittu. So that is when I thought, okay, but life had a different thing for me. So that day of the visa, this lady comes with 4 kids, all affected. It shook me. And she was from the rural. காலில் செருப்பு கூட இல்லை, தலையில் எண்ணெய் இல்லை, 4 ஆண் குழந்தைங்களும் affected. So that was a time it really changed. I said, no, must be I can make lots of money, but then there's a need over here. So that is how MDCRC was born, Molecular Diagnostic Counseling, Care and Research Center. Of course, Chennai in the 2009 I shifted to Coimbatore. I'm very proud to say I'm an Avinash Lingam product, BSc, MSc done in Avinash Lingam. I'll always remember Ayya Avargal. And அவர் தான் சொல்வார், படித்த படிப்பு சமுதாயத்துக்கு போகணுன்னு. ஸோ தட் மேட் மீ கம் பேக் டு கோயம்புத்தூர். ஐ எம் நாட் அ கோயம்புத்தூர் பார்ன் பர்சன், ஐ எம் அ திருநெல்வேலி கேர்ள் as such. But I love Coimbatore, I love the people of Coimbatore, and it has been here. நான் இங்கே அவினாஷிங்க அப்புறம் குறிஞ்சியில் இருந்தோம் கொஞ்ச நாள். Then now we are in Royal Care Super Speciality Hospital. So what do we do? இந்த மாதிரி மரபணு, all the genetic disorders, they don't have a cure. So there's no point in having more and more kids affected. And there's a huge responsibility with the public health system to identify and prevent. இன்னைக்கு இருக்கு, there is technology. Gene technology மாதிரி இன்னைக்கு ஐடிக்கு அடுத்தது, I would say what is fast growing is genetic technology. So with that, we identify and we prevent, and for a specific disorder, because with focus. And I would say it was lovely to hear Dr. Velumani. And so we had taken Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and it's one of the most lethal genetic disorder affecting young boys. And to say we have covered the entire state of Tamil Nadu, mainly the rural. And
thank you, Doctor.
So it is a wonderful journey.
Take some more data from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mustafa.
Good morning, all. By the way, I'm Mustafa. I'm basically born and brought up from Coimbatore. Now moved last 2 decades. I'm in Bangalore. First of all, I congratulate this jubilant Tamil Nadu for doing wonderful job after such a powerful session, such an important session which you have taken it up, social reform, on social entrepreneurship. That is very important, which is required today. Basically, how do I associate with Tunnel is the Tunnel started with one single man, Dr. Idris, which he went for a home visit to do a palliative care at a residence way back close to 2 decades before. He saw the situation of the family. He decided that I have to take them care at my place. From there, he taken them. He doesn't have a house. He doesn't have anything. They took it up. On a friend's place, he started. Today, we are covering around 16 states, 250 centers, And 150 crore on the charity average annually we are spending on doing it on that, largely on education, health, and technology, which we are largely working on that on a crisp. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. Mr. Faisal, yeah.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you, BNI, Mr. Nazar, Sadish, Santosh, and all giving an opportunity to address such a wonderful crowd. I'm here for last 2 days, and it's amazing sessions, so knowledge-packed, so impressed. I'm Mohammed Faisal. At the moment, I'm working in Qatar with a government entity as an IT consultant. And I'm an ex-RVS Sulur product. I passed out in mid-90s, sorry. And then I did my master's and everything. And I'm working in the industry for the last 30 years. So my social part is, I work with the different NGOs as a digital transformation consultant. And one of the NGO I'm working in called CG, Center for Information Guidance India, as their director for digital empowerment. There are a lot of reasons why I'm into, and my main area is in education. We strongly believe that education is the way to empower the people. So we concentrate a lot on the educational area and working on that. We do a lot of programs we'll discuss over the discussion. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you, all three of you. Now, since this is the topic we are discussing is about social entrepreneurship and technology, I understand definitely all three of you will be using technology now. Now, what is the current scenario for you? There are a lot of latest technologies have been developed like AI. So, do you see an opportunity for AI, for example, AI in the kind of work you do? Maybe Mustafa, can you answer how we can implement AI in the kind of work you do?
Yeah, it's a very important question because today, we have moved from agricultural revolution to industrial revolution to now AI technology, what we are talking about it. So we will go further. The technology will grow fast. How we can implement those things in our system? One small example I can say is recently we did that innovation. What is that is, there is a gate trainer for the physically challenged people who can use this gate trainer is artificially trained robot, which will help them how to stand, how to walk, how all this one which will help them to make it out. On this, with this same technology, with a lot of inputs, we recently, last 10 days back, we are assigned with a startup, a new startup, young startup, like today a lot of startups are here, the young startup and tied up, and first pediatric G-Gate we were able to launch. So this is the biggest advantage which I feel that AI is the one, AI or IoT, whatever you call it up, it's all is going to help it out. How effectively use it, how positively we drive it, that will help us to build it up bigger way.
Fantastic, okay. Now my question to you, sir. Now, even though India is a country where we have a lot of penetration of internet, but still, do you see that in the rural segment? So when we were discussing, you were telling me in the rural segment, the penetration and maybe the infrastructure is not developed. So what are the kind of challenges you see in a country like India, or particularly in Tamil Nadu, in reaching out to the beneficiaries?
See, in general, in rural India, even though the urban India has more than 100% penetration rate of internet penetration rate, in rural India, still it's around 40% only. Okay, that's a huge challenge. It's developing over the period of time. Governments are investing a lot in it. And the second challenge is the resources as well. That is in terms of human resources, qualified professionals and all those things. So if you look at the rural areas, where the heart of India is, one of our keynote speaker in the inaugural session, he was telling, if you want to be an economical growth, the social growth has to happen. The social growth has to happen in the rural India. Okay, once you empower them, then only the economical growth will come, because they'll be having more buying powers and all those things, which is when you connect to the business perspective. Okay, so yes, technology, the internet penetration is less, the human resources is a challenge. How to overcome? Yes, there are a lot of collaborative work going on with the different governments, the different service providers, etc. is happening today, and this has to happen in a very fast mode. And as a technology experts, we all expect Elon Musk, Starlink or something will come and give a wonderful internet connection in all the villages. That will be really great once it's happened.
Thank you. Doctor, my question to you is definitely the kind of work what you're doing, you need a lot of financial support from companies and from individuals also. How do you manage this?
Okay, to just rope in the other two questions also, we had a project from Google called AI for SG, Artificial Intelligence for Social Good, which did lots of positivity. And since it's not a direct question, I just wanted to say it was a wonderful project. If anybody is interested, we can talk. And the second one is the rural. Our target has been the rural, and as I told you, the complete rural population. As he rightly said, empowering the rural becomes very important. And to answer the question directly addressed to me, yes, financial, in a social entrepreneurship, and more the way we work, because I run a trust, which is done very professionally with the latest technology as such, but offered completely free of cost. So when that is a challenge, where do the financials really come from? Basically, I would say with all the experience of the last 14 years, to build a good corpus is something which is very, very important. But the way we worked is, I used to write very structured projects both to the government and donors, and then the goal and the vision is very clear. We split it up and then we address, and then we were able to do. It has been going on. It is a challenge, as you rightly said, and more when it is offered free of cost, it is a challenge. But I would say if anybody is taking that route, efforts towards building a good corpus is something which is very important.
Thank you, Doctor. Mr. Mustafa, I have a question now. So, Madam was talking about how to get the financial resources. Now, in today's times, how do you reach, or how technology can help you in bringing this? The CSR is one area of activity where you can get finances from individual businessmen or individuals. So, do you have any efforts done in that direction so that you could collect?
Basically, I told you that the tunnel itself, it has running not only with the employees.
Okay.
Employee strength is only 1,500.
Okay.
The volunteer strength is 10,000.
Oh, okay.
Across the country, our volunteers is 10,000 who are like me. The people who want to give back to the society.
Okay.
So these are the people who are there. So these people, we network them. So that is where it will happen. Automatically, when you go with the right project, right initiative, there are people to come up. They are ready to, with open hands, they are ready to support you. Only thing is, we have to go and we have to have a clear data.
Okay.
One is that. Today, data is the fuel for everything. Okay. So if you have a clear data, there are people are ready for that.
Okay.
The second thing is, you have to have a trust and the clear books. That is the one thing which is today, everywhere there is a problem. The books. Over there, the technology helps us, blockchain.
Okay.
The blockchain today keeps your, everything is clean, black and white. You can give them audit, anything. Our system in next 3 to 6 months, our tunnel, all the 260 centers will be centrally connected. Everything is going on with the software. There is a Zoho, we know that. He started from the rural. He's picked up and coming up. So same company has given up a software, which we are connecting it. And across all our books, all in case, for example, we have the largest in dialysis in the country. We have close to 100 centers across the country where 98% we do a free dialysis. Only people who can afford, or the government, wherever subsidiary, we can take it up. There we can check it up, which center has a vacancy, which center we have filled it up, all that we can see on the technology. So that will help us to do it. So okay. One main thing is that funding is very important. The fuel is funding. The funding, if you have a clear project and clear approach, you will get it.
Fantastic. I saw that you are the past president of the Tunnel Bangalore chapter. I hope that you have one chapter in Coimbatore, various cities of Tamil Nadu. So how do one person can join a chapter? Is there an eligibility as an individual or as a company? Can we contribute to that also?
It's just, you need a heart.
Okay.
We need a positive mindset and a heart, that enough to join us. We are all like-minded people who want to spread more hands. In Coimbatore, every day we distribute 500 breakfast.
In Coimbatore
people,
alone?
Yeah.
Okay.
The people who are on the road, when they get up, they should have one meal, at least to have a happy day to start. So we started in Tamil Nadu, we have around 7,000 meals we supply.
Oh, one meal a day for 7,000 people.
7,000
I think
people.
that requires a round of applause. giving food to 7,000 people on a daily basis every day.
We are open in Coimbatore. There are the BNI wing is there. We are open to do a lot of area on this dialysis center, which we want to open in Bangalore, in Coimbatore. If any like-minded people, we are open to associate with that.
Thank you. Mr. Faisal, you are sitting in Qatar, right? And you are reaching out to people in India. So how does this happen that you have centers, education centers here? So can you just briefly tell us, how do you reach out to the rural youth?
Yeah. As I mentioned, our main focus area is education. In the rural India, the biggest challenge is, if you take the states like Bihar, Jharkhand and all, the school dropouts is more than 40%. Okay. So we are addressing them. So the main challenge in these places is we don't have qualified resources in the city or in the village where they are in. So what we are doing is, we are doing the digital learning centers, okay, and we are delivering the classes through learning management system. So we are using Moodle, is one of the biggest learning management systems in the world, as well as we are doing remote classes from different part of the world. Right now, we are doing the coding classes for the students, for these underprivileged students through these learning centers. And the teachers are from Qatar, the IT professionals voluntarily doing from Qatar, and Dubai as well. Okay. So right now we are doing it the 4 centers, would be Bihar, Assam, Mumbai, etc. And we are planning to grow it in more and more places. The advantage is, the biggest challenge, as I mentioned, that the resources, the human resources. So this can be overcome through the digital delivery. Okay. And the second thing is, when you are delivering education through it, okay, first thing is, you set up a syllabus, you test it, and you have the full data to analyze how is the performance. Okay. And any changes or any tweaking is required, you don't have to wait to next 1 year to come out the result and all. Every month or every quarter when you see the results, because there is another challenge, because most of these villages, they have their local culture, local language and everything. So accordingly, we can adjust the syllabus very easily as we have the digital technology, or we are using the digital method to deliver it. And the last one is the scalability. Because the first time effort to develop the syllabus, develop the learning modules, develop all the materials, then it can exponentially spread into multiple learning centers. Okay. Because most of their syllabus is same, if you're teaching maths, if you're teaching computers and all those things. And the good thing is, you don't have to invest a lot of time on developing the resources. There are tons of resources available. You have to choose the right one, put it together, collaborate with the different NGOs. Like we are teaching the coding in collaborating with the international NGO called code.org. So there are a lot of similar NGOs we can collaborate and deliver it. So with the current digital empowerment technology, doesn't matter where you sit, you can reach to any part of the world. As Mr. Mustafa rightly said, if you have the heart and you have the courage to do it, you can do it easily. That's the most important thing.
Okay. Now, how has the language part has been solved? Like, because you're sitting in Qatar and you're working in Bihar and Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. So maybe the students, all of them do not understand English. So you have all the tutors also speaking the language, the local language here?
That's a challenge.
Okay.
No, most of the speakers speak only English.
Okay.
So right now, yes, we have some local tutor, we have a center coordinator from the local language. They will help us. Right now, what we are trying to do is, we are collaborating with the university students from the specific state, and we'll give a small stipend to them for the teaching, etc. So this has 2 benefits. Okay. One, we can overcome this language challenge. Second is, this will cultivate a sort of social engagement in the next generation. Because most of them don't have an opportunity. They don't know what's happening around the world. So once you engage the university students into this kind of teaching in the rural things remotely, this will cultivate a social engagement in them, and it will benefit a lot for the future.
That's lovely. Madam, my question again to you is, so you've been in this field for the last 14 years. So definitely there is a lot to be done more, yes and no. So you've been doing some work. So where do you see in the next 3-4 years how much you want to reach out? Because the audience who are sitting there are mostly businessmen and SMEs. So if they also want to contribute in which way, whichever way you could suits for your kind of work. So you can tell us about how we can also participate in the kind of work you do. There are people who are from the startups today. There's going to be startup pitch after this. So definitely there are people who are technologies, people who are working in startups. So how any startup can also work with you? Can you just elaborate on that?
Okay, thank you for that nice question. The thing is, as I told you, genetic disorders, if you take, they are 7,000 plus. We were concentrating more on the pediatrics. 80% of this affects children. So more for the children as such. And again, a portion of it is neuromuscular disorders. And I'm sure most of you must have read about this WhatsApp, the crowdfunding on spinal muscular atrophy, SMA. I think most of you would have said 16 crore. One injection is 16 crores. I just, within a span of 2 years, I had more than 1,200 patients with SMA. How many can we give 16 crores? So the aim is to identify at the grassroots level and prevent the disorder in the next generation. So that is how, and it's a focus. And we have focused and completely worked on Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And as he has, what more? There is so much more. If you say for the next 1 decade, if you just give me a day's time, I can just list out what is to be done. The need is so much. And the way you can contribute is, of course, if you're interested to work, yes, it's a very holistic approach. I have outreach department where people who are interested in MSW, I don't think qualification matters, the real interest, then the molecular diagnostics where it is all biotechnology, biochemistry, and then the genetic counseling. And again, we started the Board of Genetic Counseling India because it all comes up when there's a need, when the necessity is a mother of invention. So it takes a bit longer to explain, but anybody is interested in genetics and counseling, you can definitely call on me, we can talk. Then we have the multidisciplinary clinical care and rehabilitation. Any of these, if you are interested, you can get in touch. And if there are people who would want to give volunteers, say I just have around 30 people working and 10 core members. But then how were we able to completely cover Tamil Nadu? It is only with help of students and volunteers. So that becomes a very important part of a social entrepreneurship. And as he mentioned, giving the taste of what it is to give. We should only be giving. These days children, I feel they are wonderful. They are not manipulative. They might be on WhatsApp, but somehow I see them as wonderful. And these students, if given a taste, it's going to be wonderful. And the last part, any of you say, I don't have time, but I can give money, it will go and reach the right person. And as I told you, we have work for the next 10 years. Anybody is interested in contributing, you're very welcome. And you can take my card. We are very much in Coimbatore. I love to work with any of you.
Thank you. One final question to both of you. Running out of, she's waiting for me to close. The last one is, have you achieved, because you said it, everyone requires a heart. So do you think you have achieved, done something, or you want to do more to the society?
Obviously, we have 2030 goal. Today we are touching 1.75 to 2 lakh individuals every day. We want to touch 1 million people by 2030. Okay. For that, lot of people from across the walk of life has to come, so that, because what we have done is we dropped water in the ocean, that's all. Nothing, there is so much of requirement. If we, as he said, if you go to Bihar, if you go to Northeast, there are so much of vacuum where they are staying 1 decade behind us. Where we are sitting in the city, we are saying that we have so much of complaints, but you go and see there, they are sitting 1 decade behind us. So we have to do a lot. If we can ignite one house, one family, that will change. That is what we have to do. Let us be a change maker. On BNI, we are doing a wonderful job. We are building the business. Let us do a constructive on this also. That will transform the society as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Final one to you, sir. So we are all SMEs here, most of the audience here. So I come from a small town. If I have, I'll build a small infrastructure. I want to empower the youth in my small village. So will you help us with your curriculum? Can I connect with us?
Sure, definitely, yes. We'll definitely help you with your curriculum. See, just I want to mention, because a lot of SMEs here, and there will be a lot of IT initiatives also, IT people as well. See, in India, as per the ILSS statistics, even though around 80 to 90% of NGOs has some sort of digital presence, could be website or could be social media, etc. But their process or their service digitalization is less than 30%. Okay, so when you digitize your services only, you can reach to, or they can deliver their services to much more people and exponentially grow, and scalability is possible. So your startups, there are an opportunity to help these NGOs to automate, digitize the services. It not be very profit-making business, but still it's a social commitment to empower this kind of NGOs in the digitizing their services. Okay, not just the website or the social media. That will help a lot, and that will exponentially help to grow the services what they're delivering today. And I'm happy to help. I'm here for. Yeah, I'm happy to help. I'm here for next half an hour because I'll be leaving quite soon. I'm taking a 2:30 flight, so we can connect.
Yeah.
No, sure. Otherwise, my contact details are with Nasser, Sadish, and all.
Sure.
I'm happy to help anyway. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank all three of you. Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi, for being here, spending your valuable time.